Hi there, it's Gabriel here, SEO Manager at Hike SEO, and in this video, we'll be talking about how to plan your way to SEO success. This is the first stage to SEO, and it's absolutely critical that you create a strategy that will lead you to that success that you want. So what you'll learn in this video, we'll be talking about what is an SEO strategy, and then how to create one, why it's important to create one and implement it. And then we'll talk about the first step, which is audience research. Then the second step of the process, which is keyword research. And then finally, competitor research. So we'll go through all three stages. So what is an SEO strategy? Great question. The term is thrown around a lot, but we want to know specifically what it is. It's basically a plan that's designed to increase your website's visibility and ranking in the search engine results pages. It's simply, these are the actions that we want to take, and in this order over this period of time, because we believe this will lead to the highest rate of success. It's basically to get more organic traffic to the website and increase your conversion rate. So conversion rate can be either getting more inquiries, phone calls, leads, sales, whatever that measure for your business is, that's conversion. So there are several important aspects to an SEO strategy. There's three phases, like I mentioned before. There's audience research, keyword research, and competitor research. So why is an SEO strategy important? Why even bother doing all this planning before getting into the nitty-gritties? Well, firstly, more visibility and ranking. To have one means that you're going to basically strategize what actions are going to be the most valuable for your business in order to get the highest rankings and the most organic traffic and visibility. So you'll also be able to get higher domain and page authority, because that will, by means of getting high quality backlinks, that will help increase your rankings and get more traffic. Enhanced user experience also comes through creating a solid SEO strategy. Higher conversion rates, greater competitive advantage in the marketplace. And that's really important because your competitors are most likely also creating their own SEO strategies and trying to get higher rankings. So you want to get the highest chance of success and compete and win in the search engine results pages. And then sustainable long-term strategy. You want to make it sustainable. You don't want to just go for shortcuts that could hurt your rankings in the short term. You want to have something that can actually get you to the top of page 1, in the top 3 results, even in the top first result, as long as possible. Let's start with audience research. This is the first step of an SEO strategy because it's all about understanding your audience at a much deeper level. So chances are, if you're already in a business, small business, you already know your audience quite well, your market quite well. So you need to understand the needs of your customers, the pain points, the interests they have, different behaviors of your customers. And the more you understand this, the better that you can cater your SEO strategy for success. So what questions are they asking? Maybe they're asking them on your website. Maybe they're asking them through your reviews. Maybe they're asking through other sites. But the more you understand what questions they're asking, the better you can answer them. What problems are they trying to solve? Again, really important, because then you can offer solutions, and that creates value that attracts them to your site, to your business. What kind of topics are they interested in? Again, this leads to possible content that you can create to fulfill that need. So all of this leads to improved user experience, conversion rate, and chance of sharing your website, your pages, and that could lead to high quality backlinks. So understand your audience use of language. This is very important because SEO is all starts with a keyword phrase. So basically a few words or a word or a combination of words in the search engine that is basically sharing their mental process of, or their intent of what they want to find through the search engine. So it's understanding what words they use, what phrases they use. That's the first step. So the use of words and phrases, and this gives clues to the type of keywords to research in the next step of the SEO strategy process. So use these terms in the content to increase relevance and engagement. So the more closely or exactly that you can match the words and the language in your content with the language that your audience is using, the better, because they resonate with it, they understand it, they get it. If you try to use different phrases, different language, different sayings, it may not resonate with the audience that you're trying to target. And that leads to decreased conversion rates and higher bounce rates and all of that. Next is to understand your audience's behavior. So how they interact with your content. For example, do they skim the articles that you write, like just breeze through quickly, just read the headings? Or do they read word by word? Do they read it in depth? It depends on the audience. It depends on who you're targeting. Do they have a preference of media? Do they prefer photos, videos, audios, lots of diagrams, lots of images? What do they prefer? And that will allow you to cater to their desires. And where do they hang out online so that you can reach them there? Maybe they're on Facebook a lot because that's the kind of demographic that hangs out on Facebook. Or maybe it's TikTok because it's a younger generation. Where do they hang out online so you can also reach them there, in addition to SEO on Google and other search engines? Now, there's two types of audience research. The first one is quantitative. And basically, this is surveys, questionnaires, data analysis. This is where you get the hard numbers and the facts. You can identify trends, patterns, preferences of your audiences. This is really valuable because you can really get an accurate view of what your audience wants. The next is qualitative. This is a bit more tricky, but also equally, if not more important than quantitative. It has to do with insights into their opinions, their beliefs, their motivations. Why are they doing something? And these can be gleaned from focus groups, interviews, observations, case studies, one-on-one conversations with your customers or clients. These are all very important. And this allows you to gain an even deeper understanding behind the behaviors and preferences of your audience. So keep in mind these two types of audience research when you're doing them. So methods to do audience research. Here's a bit more practical advice that what I would suggest. So first one is to look at trends using Google Trends. You can simply type a keyword in there, and then you can see over time how a certain topic becomes more and more popular. Maybe there's a spike, a seasonal spike every year. You can see exactly when is a good time to talk about that specific topic. You can do keyword research. That's the next phase of the process anyways. Again, that's essential to do. Surveys and questionnaires, and this allows you to get asked specific questions, ask their opinions about something or preferences, and then you can see what percentages of your audience have selected certain answers, and that gives you some great insights. Focus groups and interviews. Again, this gives you even more insights, a deeper understanding behind your audience's motivations. Online reviews are great to mine this information. You can basically skim even across your competitors' reviews and see what your customers are demanding, what they want, what they like, what they dislike. And Google Analytics audience report. So if you already have your website going, you already have data and you're tracking analytics, you can get some great insights about your audience here as well. And then finally, competitor analysis. You can look at your competitor sites. You can see what they've created to cater to their audience that is similar to yours. And that will also give you further insights as to what they want. Next is analyzing and applying audience research data. So this is where you would identify keyword audience segments. And basically, this is where you would segment the audience into groups based on their demographics, their interests, their online behavior, content preferences, anything that you've collected via your qualitative and quantitative research. You can start grouping them based on the patterns you start seeing. And this is where you have these groups of audiences that you can cater to when you create content or you're doing your keyword research in the next step. So that's really important that you do this. Otherwise, you're going to be talking to too broad of a segment, too broad of an audience. And it's better to segment them into smaller groups so you can cater each piece of content to a specific segment in your audience. And that will lead to better engagement rate as well down the line. Next is analyzing and applying audience research data for developing audience personas. So these are fictional representations of your ideal customers based on the data collected. And basically, you're talking to someone that doesn't exist, but your audience, most of your audience could match that person. And that's a really great way to do it if you don't have any single customer in mind, and allows you to cater your content, change the tone of voice, change all the examples that you use for your audience. So it allows you to better understand their needs, their pain points, the motivations of your audience, and craft more targeted content that aligns with your ideal audience persona. Next is crafting tailored content for specific audience groups. So this is where you would create the high quality content that caters to each specific need of each group. So that's where you would create, let's say, write an article about a topic, and that topic really aligns with, let's say, segment A of your audience. Then you would write another article, maybe that aligns with segment C of your audience, and so forth, depending on the persona that you're talking to. So again, this improves the user experience for each segment, increases the shareability and the engagement, and they're more likely to link back, so you can create more backlinks naturally. Next is optimizing content for search intent. Search intent is the intention behind the search query, the keyword. What is it that they're actually looking for based on the keywords that they have typed in the search engine? So there's 4 types: informational, navigational, transactional, and commercial. So informational is they're just looking to learn something new. For example, maybe they're looking about what is a root canal if they're looking for a dentist. Or navigational is they're looking to go somewhere. So let's say they're searching for a specific dentist's name, and they're looking to go to their site. They already know where they want to go to. Transactional is they're looking to buy something. So book a dentist appointment at this place. And commercial has to do with basically the terms that they're looking for, like comparisons. They're already in that buying mode. They're looking at different options, considering different products or services. So it could be like X product versus Y product or something like that. So that's commercial. You need to align your content with the search intent. So if you're creating content that's informational, make sure that it sticks with that. If you're creating content that has to do with, let's say, commercial terms, maybe you're doing a comparison of your product versus other competitors, then make sure it aligns to that, and so forth. So you want to optimize the titles, the meta descriptions, the headers, the internal links, and the call to actions, depending on which search intent that you're trying to optimize for. Next is evaluating and adapting the SEO strategy based on audience insights. So it's important to regularly review your audience research data and monitor your website performance using Google Analytics, using Search Console, using Google My Business Profile. All of these tools will help you to continue to gain deeper insights of your audience. It helps you identify new trends, uncover new opportunities, make informed decisions, etc. So this could lead to adjustments in keyword focus, updating content, or improve your site structure. So step 2 of the SEO strategy process is keyword research. So once you know your audience at a much deeper level, that will inform what type of keywords you can select for your pages and for your blog articles and whatnot on your site. So you want to identify the words and phrases that are most searched in your industry, in your niche, in your market. And you want to understand the intent behind the searches. And this helps you tailor the content more effectively, like we discussed previously. Also, identifying gaps in the market or areas your competitors may be missing on their site. This is really important because then you can start creating content that delivers that need, that fulfills that need, and that will give you a competitive advantage in the rankings. So in Hike, you can actually find new keywords using some of the recommendations that it generates using cutting-edge AI technology based on the business that you're in, the website and content that you have. So it allows you to already come up with some ideas for the keywords that you can start using. So definitely try the Hike's keyword research tool. It's fantastic for beginners and small businesses. So there are 3 pillars of keyword research. The first one is keyword relevance. Next is, so basically keyword relevance is how closely related is that search term to the search intent. How relevant is it to your industry, to your market, to your product? Whatever it is that you're trying to create, or that topic behind it, how relevant is the keyword to that? So it means different things depending on what it is that you're writing about. But basically, if you're talking about, let's say, keyword research, and the keyword is how to find words, that's not really relevant to what it's about. But if the keyword is how to do keyword research, that's highly relevant because it even contains that topic in it, which is keyword research. Next is keyword search volume. So on average, how many searches per month are people in your market searching on Google and other search engines for that specific keyword? So the higher, the better. Keyword difficulty score. The more difficult it is to find or to basically rank in the search results for that, then it will be harder. So the lower the number, the better. And this changes depending on what tool you use. But in Hike, it's basically between 1, which is the lowest difficulty score, the easiest to rank for, all the way to 10, which is the most difficult. And bonus, keyword value. So you may not see this in Hike, but other tools you might find it. So the cost per click in the search ads, and the higher this number, basically the more advertisers are willing to spend per click for that search term. So it means there's commercial viability in that. It means that people are spending a lot of money to advertise for these search terms, meaning that they're also making equivalent amounts. So try to find keywords that also have a high keyword value as well. So the keyword research process can be broken down as follows. First, you want to choose seed keywords. These are initial core topics or ideas that you want to start with. So if you're in the niche of dentistry, you might want to start with dentist. You might want to start with different types of procedures that you do. These are all seed keywords that you start your research from. Next is to generate the keywords. This always happens using a tool such as Hike's keyword research tool. And that will allow you to generate similar terms from that and to see what people are actually searching for based on real data that's being collected. Next is filtering the keywords, so going through those, getting rid of irrelevant ones, getting rid of the ones that don't meet your search criteria. Let's say you have a minimum monthly search volume that you want or maximum difficulty score. So using that, you would filter out all the irrelevant ones and keep the ones that are higher value. Next is clustering them. So clustering keywords means basically grouping similar ones together into topic groups. So if they're quite similar, group them together, and that will form a topic cluster. And finally, prioritize keywords. So pick out the ones that you want to start with based on high search volume, low difficulty score, high value, high relevance. All of those are high value that you want to start creating content around first. Step 3 of the SEO strategy process is competitor research. So this is where you understand the tactics and techniques the competitors are using to get high search rankings. Now, you may not know exactly because you're not walking into their office and spying on them, but you can see what they're doing based on how well their website is optimized. So you can analyze their content, the keywords that are ranking for them, the backlinks that they have, the site structure. All of these things give you clues as to how well they're doing their SEO, both on-site and off-site. And you want to use the top performing content as benchmarks, as comparisons to when you write your own content. And you can get clues to see how well they're performing based on rankings, but also looking at how many comments they've received, how many social shares that they have. And it gives you a little x-ray into what your audience is actually wanting and how well it's performing. So this also allows you to spot trends in the market, spot high performing topics that do well in your industry, and gives you clues as to what type of content that your business can create as well. This also gives you ideas for backlink opportunities, which piece of content, which topics are the most shareable, get the most links, etc. So in Hike, you can actually look at the competitors that are currently competing against your specific keywords that are ranking, and you can see how many backlinks they have, search volumes, what keywords they're going for, and all of these things. So definitely check that out in Hike. It's a very, very useful tool to spot competitors. So here's the 5-step competitor research process, and we'll go through each one afterwards with a few points. So firstly is to identify the SEO competitors, find them. Then it's to analyze their on-page SEO, and then analyze their off-page SEO, and then identify the content gaps and opportunities that are available, and finally benchmark and track the performance. So that will help you to see how well you're doing against them. So first step is to do identifying them. And this is finding the direct and indirect competitors. So direct competitors are ones that basically are in your niche, in your industry, and are going, possibly have the same products and services as you. Indirect are slightly different industries or completely different industries, but are targeting the same keywords that are in your industry. For example, it might be maybe you're a dentist and you're targeting dentist keywords, but there's a health blog, a general health blog, but they have an article about healthy teeth. So that's an indirect competitor. A direct competitor would be, let's say, another dentist in the local area that might actually have a large market share in your town or in your city. That's the difference. So these are based on keywords that are relevant to your industry and market. So you want to obviously find these competitors using the keyword research that you've done. So you can use Google to type in the keyword and see which top 5 results show. Again, you can use a tool like Hike SEO in the competitor research section to do this automatically for you. But for the keywords that you haven't ranked yet, that you don't have visibility for, it's best to use Google just to see what competitors are there currently before you start creating content for that. Next is analyze your competitors' on-page SEO. So you want to look at their website structure, how is their content organized, what type of content they have, what topics have they written about, the keywords that they've used, the the meta tags. Are they optimized? Do they have a title tag? Do they have an H1? Do they have a well-written meta description? How's their header tags that break their content up into small sections? Look at their internal and external linking. All of these things give you clues as to how well they're doing currently. So how well have they categorized or organized their content? If it's messy, if it's hard to navigate, maybe you can do a better job. Do they use internal linking intelligently to make it easy for readers to navigate through their site? How easy and engaging is their website to use? Again, another clue where you can do better. Analyze your competitors' off-page SEO. So this is where you would assess your competitors' backlink profiles, social media presence, look at all of that, and how many backlinks and unique referring domains do they have. This gives you a clue as to how difficult it is to compete against them at this stage, but also gives you ideas where you could get additional backlinks from. Identify content gaps and opportunities. So this is where you would find topics, keywords, or content formats that are performing well, and then basically duplicating that on your site, like creating similar articles on those topics and seeing where your competitors haven't actually created content in and creating those articles. So when you do this for multiple competitors, you can start seeing gaps that may be occurring across these sites. So let's say you look at 10 different competitors, but most of them don't have articles about a specific topic in your niche. Great, you can take advantage of that and create articles for those. Benchmark and track performance. So this is where you define important KPIs or key performance indicators, such as total ranking keywords on page 1, the total number of backlinks, the total number of unique referring domains, and total organic traffic. All of these are potential KPIs that you can track. Common ones are just, how many keywords are you ranking for? What positions are they? How much traffic do you get? All of these things. You can check out Google Analytics for more information on the different KPIs that you can look at. So that's it for SEO strategy. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. And if you haven't tried Hike SEO, definitely create an account. There's a 14-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free. And it's a fantastic platform for small businesses and beginners to create an amazing SEO strategy and to start getting higher rankings and more organic traffic. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.